Answer is negative 4x minus 2y. Answer is negative 3x plus 2y. Answer should be 6x. Answer should be 2x plus 7y. Answer is 7x minus 11. Winning numbers today are 3, 5, 7, 10, and 14. Today's objective is going to be to find a line that is parallel or perpendicular to a given line that passes through a given point. Example 1. The line is y equals 3x plus 2. You must find a line that is parallel to that and passes through the point negative 2, 3. In order to find the line that is parallel to y equals 3x plus 2 and passes through negative 2, 3, you must do the following. First, determine what the slope will be of the parallel line. If it's parallel, it has the exact same slope. The slope-intercept form of the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. If the slope is going to be the same because it's parallel, then you plug in 3 where the m is at. Next, it must pass through this point, negative 2, 3. So insert that xy point into x and y into this. Y is 3 and x is negative 2. From there you have to solve for b. B is the y-intercept. Once you solve for b, you're going to plug it back in right here to get your answer. So this should be 3 equals a negative 6 plus b, and then 3 plus 6 after you move this to the left. B should be 9. 9 is the y-intercept. You come back here, y equals 3x plus b, and rewrite it as y equals 3x plus 9. As a review, this is the equation that was given to you. It's indicated that you need a line that is parallel, and it has to pass through this point. Set up the slope-intercept form of the equation and plug in this same slope into it. If it's parallel, it has the same slope. Then plug the point in for y and x. This is x, this is y. That's where we get 3 and negative 2. From there, multiply these two to get negative 6. Move it to the left, make it plus. Get a 9. 9 is equal to b. Plug it in here for b. That's how we come up with this final answer, y equals 3x plus 9. Here's example 2. The problem is y equals a negative 1/2 x plus 3. You're looking for a line that is parallel, and it must pass through the point negative 1, 5. y equals mx plus b is where you start. If it is a parallel line, then you must plug in that same slope into m. So y equals a negative half x plus b. Next, plug in the points, negative 1 and 5, x and y. So that would be 5 equals a negative 1/2 times a negative 1 plus b. Now you must solve for b. So multiply here to come up with a positive half plus b. And that half must be moved to the left and become minus. Now you have 5 minus a half. That is 4 1/2. We are not going to leave it as a mixed number. We're going to make it an improper fraction, so that would be 9/2. And plug this back into here to get y equals negative half x plus 9/2. On the practice problem, it is y equals mx plus b. The slope must be 4. And we're going to plug in the 0.45, so that's 5 equals 4 times 4 plus b. 5 equals 16 plus b, and when we move it to the left, it becomes minus. So we'll have a negative 11 for b. When we insert that here, we should have y equals 4x minus 11. Answer to the bonus is 2. Answer should be 104. On the practice problem, you start with y equals mx plus b. Since it's parallel, we're using this slope. So y equals 3/4 x plus b. We're plugging in these numbers from the point. So it's negative 4 equals 3/4 x plus, or not x, but actually times 9. 3/4 times 9, and then plus b. So that's going to be negative 4 equals 27/4. And when you move that to the left, it's negative 4 minus 27/4 equals b. A common denominator would get you negative 16/4 minus 27/4. So negative 16 minus 27 is a negative 43/4. And we're not making that a mixed number. From the example, I showed you that we're leaving them as improper fractions or changing to such if necessary. So your answer should be y equals 3/4 x minus 43/4. The answer on the bonus is 108. The bonus should be 142. Numbers today are 1, 3, and 5. Example 3. Y equals negative 2x, actually that's a positive 2x, plus 3. We're looking for a line that is perpendicular to that and passes through the point negative 1, 4. Again, you start with y equals mx plus b. Since it is perpendicular, you are not using the same slope from the original equation. You're using the negative reciprocal of that. Instead of 2, you are using a negative 1/2. Negative reciprocal. The reciprocal of 2 is 1 over 2. And then you change the sign to negative. Y equals a negative half x plus b. And then you continue out the rest of the problem like we did before, plugging in the point. That would be 4 equals a negative half times negative 1 plus b. Negative half times negative 1 is half. And if I move it to the left, it's minus a half. And it comes out to be 3.5. We have to change that to an improper fraction of 7 over 2. And then go back to here. Y equals a negative half x plus 7 over 2. As a review, y equals 2x plus 3 is the original line. It's perpendicular to something that passes through negative 1, 4. We're trying to find the equation of that something that is perpendicular to this and passes through this point. Start with y equals mx plus b. You're using negative half because it is the negative reciprocal of 2. And then plug in the point. Solve for b, 7 over 2, and plug it back in for the b spot. To find the negative reciprocal of numbers, if it were 4, the negative reciprocal is a negative 1 over 4. If it were a negative 2, it would be a positive half. You flip the number and then change the sign. If it were 3 over 4, the negative reciprocal is negative 4 over 3. If it were a negative 2/3, the negative reciprocal would be a positive 3 over 2. Whatever the number is, you flip it and change the sign. If it's 5, you flip 5. It's really 5 over 1. Now it's 1 over 5, and then change the sign. If it were a negative 4, you flip it. 1 over 4 and change the sign to positive. Whatever it is, flip it and then change the sign. All integers are really fractions with a denominator of 1. So if I flip that one and make it 1 over 4, I would change the sign. Example 4. Y equals a negative 2 over 3x plus 5. You're looking for a line that is perpendicular and passes through the point 6, negative 2. You start with y equals mx plus b. You have to use the slope that is the negative reciprocal of the slope that is given to you. Negative 2 over 3, if you flip it and change the sign, it's going to be 3 over 2. And from that point, you would have to plug in 6 and negative 2 from the point, which would be negative 2 equals 3 over 2 times 6 plus b. Simplify to get 18 over 2, which is going to be 9. And then move it to the left, change the sign, should have a negative 11. And then plug it back into here to get y equals 3/2 x minus 11. On the practice problem, we'll start with y equals mx plus b and insert the negative reciprocal of this, which is 3 over 4. And then we have to insert this point to come up with 6 equals 3 over 4 times 2 plus b. That's going to be 6 over 4 in this spot, and you can simplify that to 3 over 2. Now we have to solve for b by moving the 3/2 to the left, changing the sign. A common denominator of 2 would give me 12 over 2 minus 3 over 2, which is going to be 9 over 2. Plug that back into this spot to get y equals 3 over 4x plus 9 over 2. Answer should be 153 for the bonus. Answer is 150 on the bonus. Answer to the bonus should be 45.